Hi guys, I'm Catch Queen and I've been cross-dressing since kindergarten. Now that fact alone raises some questions about my gender identity. And if you're a cross-dresser or a fellow sort of trans-friendly person on your journey towards your true gender identity, then you have probably also questioned your gender and where you stand on this matter. So how do you know if you're transgender? How do I know that? Well, let's try to find out together. Well, first of all, a little disclaimer here. I am not speaking from a position of authority here. Rather, I'm speaking from a position of a fellow traveler. So, yeah, I'm just trying to share my experiences, and I do by no means claim to be an expert in this matter. So let's cut to the chase. So if you have gender dysphoria, that is, the question of gender has ever entered your mind, and you have ever doubted the fact that you are your biological gender, so to speak, then you may have gender dysphoria, and then you may have to ask yourself a few questions if you want to clarify your position. Well, the first one, how do you see yourself, and how have you seen yourself throughout your life in regards to gender? Now, in my case, I can tell you that it's sort of been an ambiguous subject for me, this gender issue. As a kid, I never actually saw myself as a boy, but neither did I see myself as a girl, if that makes any kind of sense. I just kind of thought I was a little weird sort of a boy, you know, a little bit more feminine than others, and I just left it at that. There was no proper access to information back then, and yeah, I didn't actually have the time or the, you know, the wherewithal to explore this subject any further. So as far as that is concerned, I cannot give you a definitive answer. The question of gender, or the fact that you could actually take action to reaffirm your gender identity, never actually crossed my mind back then as a kid. I had, you know, other issues on my mind, like trading comic books and playing video games and whatnot. So yeah, but I can tell you that I never actually saw myself as a proper manly man, so to speak. So there is definitely that. One example in this sense would be that back in the days when we watched WWC, was it then? WWF? WWC, I think it was back in the days. I was always looking forward to the ladies' bouts, and while the other guys always identified with the male wrestlers, the heroes, you know, of the squared circle, you know, I myself always identified with the ladies. I always wanted to be like Malia Osaka or Magnificent Mimi from AWA back in those days. So yeah, there is definitely that. And whenever we played video games, I would always create a female character. So there was something stirring in the back of my mind even back then. Sexuality. Sexuality is tied to gender identity to some degree, even though it is quite customary to dismiss the links between the two. I can tell you that there is definitely a link there, and your gender identity does define your sexuality to some degree, although not probably fully. In this regard, I can tell you that I've always been attracted to the female form, the idea of femininity, and women, ladies, girls in general throughout my life. So yeah, and even today, although I am attracted to fellow cross-dressers and transgender people, I prefer extremely feminine people, and those who value femininity as much as I do. How do you feel about your current gender? Well, I can tell you that I would prefer to be a woman. That's as plain as simple as that. But since I'm a guy trying to enjoy life as it is, and yeah, there are definitely upsides to being a guy, like you know, being able to build muscles more easily. Sometimes it doesn't hurt to be a little bit on the stronger side, although I do absolutely agree that there are women out there, plenty of them, who are physically stronger than myself, but still there's plenty of testosterone coursing through these veins here, so yeah, there's not much you can do about it. You can't deny nature when it takes its course. So this question was kind of easy for me. I would prefer to sort of, wake up and be a woman at first thought, but then again, this question and this whole idea of waking up a different gender deserves a little bit deeper exploration on my part. Do you like your body? Is your body image healthy? Well, I can tell you that I do kind of like my body right now. I sort of find it to be a good mix of feminine and masculine. And yeah, I kind of enjoy my body right now. I have never in my life been an extremely masculine person. There were times in my life when I really did want to be a manly man. I was working out in the gym, and I was really dreaming about being huge, having huge muscles and a chiseled jawline and being like these male movie stars. But those days are gone, obviously. And even back then, in the back of my mind, there was a sort of anxiety about having to give up my femininity and my sort of natural girlishness by adhering to this sort of ultra-masculine image. So yeah, in this regard, my body image, I believe, is relatively healthy, despite the fact that I might have a little bit of gender dysphoria going here. But yeah, I think I'm quite content on this front, and yeah, I do actually like my body the way it is right now. There you go. I mean, yeah, it could be more feminine. I definitely will grant you that. But at the same time, yeah, it's not overly masculine either. So yeah, I like it, guys. Alright, so do you always feel like you'd like to be the opposite gender, or is it just a transient feeling? In my case, I would say that about 80% of the time I would like to be a woman, and about 20% of the time I'm quite satisfied with being a guy, especially when I'm in social situations around friends who do not know about me being a cross-dresser, and who are quite transphobic in many cases, because yeah, well, let's just call a spade a spade. That's what happens many times. And yeah, so in those cases I would definitely not want to be a woman, but otherwise, yeah, around 80% of the time I'd say, yeah, bring it on. I'd love to have it. Alright guys, so that brings us to our last question of the day. If you were to wake up tomorrow and you could now choose your gender, what to wake up as, what would you say? Would you want to wake up as a woman or as a guy? Well, that is a pretty complicated question, as a matter of fact. It looks simple on the surface, but it's got untold depth to it, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, I would certainly love, in some cases, to wake up as a woman, but I just do not feel that I know what that would truly mean and imply for my life, and entail for my life. Got there. Yeah, I might love it. I might be absolutely ecstatic about it and be like 150% happier than I am right now for the rest of my life if that actually happened. But that may also not be the case. I'm a crossdresser. I'm not an actual transgender person, for the time being, that is. And I do not know much about living life as a woman. That is the truth. Now, it may seem like an attractive prospect right now, but then again, who knows how that would unfold. On the one hand, if I were to wake up as a true woman, that would imply a bunch of things that just simply changing your gender from a guy to a woman and living as a transgender, a male to female transgender, does not entail. Like, all sorts of female bodily functions, perhaps the thought and the idea of having a child at some point, and you do not have to ponder that as a trans person, obviously. So yeah, as far as I'm concerned, there'd be like three alternatives: waking up as a guy, as a woman, or a male to female transsexual. In which case, yeah, I'm not sure. I have seen interviews out there with people who regret having made the decision to have bottom surgery. So as far as I understand, science just cannot currently turn you fully into a woman. So having bottom surgery entails all sorts of unpleasantries afterwards for the rest of your life. You have to make sure you stay dilated, for instance, and all sorts of problems that you couldn't possibly foresee right now as a layperson. Like perhaps doctors do know about them, and I do not pretend to be an expert or a doctor, God forbid, and I have no idea what that would entail. So I'd say I would err on the side of caution here, and perhaps I would choose to wake up as a woman. Perhaps I might, just stay a male person. And again, the least attractive prospect for me is being a transgender person, having had surgeries, top and bottom, and hormone replacement therapy. Hormone replacement therapy, as a matter of fact, I'm a lot less averse to that idea than the idea of surgery. Like, surgery is irreversible. Hormones, to some degree, I believe you can reverse that. So, yeah, I have actually considered taking hormones, and might do so in the future. I don't know. You never do know. So, yeah, guys, introspection is always important, but this issue is so multifaceted and so complex that I can definitely not give you a definitive, a final answer on this right now. We all evolve. We all evolve. Like, not even a decade ago, I would never have the thought of, being transgender would never even have crossed my mind. Although there were definitely plenty of warning signs, as I have told you. But yeah, we all evolve. We all, change our outlook on life depending on a lot of circumstances. But for today, this is all I can tell you. Let me know in the comments below if you have pondered the idea of, being transgender, and if having answered these questions has helped you clarify your position in any way, shape, or form. Alright, guys, so that's it for today. I hope to see you around, and if you like the video, this one and the other ones that I have posted, do not be shy and hit that subscribe button, hit the like, and share the video, and stick around. I plan to post a whole lot more here. See you around. Hasta luego.